Greetings, my name is Jimmy. I'm the founder of Cool Mom Records and King of Africa Publishing, and I'm just going to introduce the ICEPT, the thing that others call the concept of the album Mission Accomplished. Yeah, there's been a mission, and we're coming to the level where now we're accomplishing this mission. There's been a lot of work put into it, and we can now present to Jamaica and to the world a demo album, because what we're selling is the ability to publish music, to write music, because the biggest part of this music business is the publishing. So we work with the bulk of it, the bulk of the content, which is the publishing. And so these are demos because we expect that people are going to, we want people to re-record the songs and take them to where they're going to go. But I'll talk about that later in other videos. At this point, I would only just want to explain why the graphics are in the order that they are, and that is to give across the idea of the process. And this is a process in a strategy for integrity. See? So the strategy is an integrity strategy. It's a business based on integrity, and this is the strategy for that integrity. In the country of Denmark, my stepfather was a Danish man, Hans Johan Andersen, from a very small village called O. And in O, I have to remember my people, and we have a couple of famous people from there. We have a writer for children's books called Ole Lund Kirkegaard, and then we also have, he was a school teacher, and then we also have a musician. His name was Jodle Biwa. He used to work at what do you call it, a factory for cleaning the intestines of butchered animals. you know but he liked country music, and he's a celebrity. And we were the only black family there. My stepfather was Danish, and he married my mother, and we were three adopted black children. And it later became known that I wanted to play music, and so they will always tease me that one day maybe you'll be as famous as our Jodle Biwa, maybe it's gonna happen now. Anyway, my stepfathers used to write letters as I was growing up, starting my own family. He used to write letters from home. Home for me was Denmark, and home for him was Africa, because he sent me to go to school in Denmark after I'd gone to school in Africa, and he was in Africa. But he'd be writing letters to Denmark, and I'd be reading them. And I remember one of the last letters he ever wrote to me was, he was complaining about many things, disappointments in life. And he says that if I must pass on any wisdom, I'd like to say that the one most valuable human quality is integrity. And so I will never forget that. And if you see, we have a photograph of Bob Marley at the beginning of this, and we are thanking Robert Nesta for what he did. And there are many reasons for that. But on his album from 1979, we're called Survival, there is a line in a song, Ambush in the Night, where it says, "So they're bribing with their guns, spare parts, and money, trying to belittle our integrity." You see, so that's the word again. So this word will explain the reasons for what we are doing and how we're doing it, and it will come up from time to time, and it's very important that it does that. I think I'll do it now in case I forget. I believe that that line in the Bob Marley album was actually contributed by Delroy Washington, because of the wording and the language. That's how Delroy talks, and I know that Delroy had been contributing to the Wailers songwriting since 72, 71, 72, I think 73, 74. Since he met Bob. He was younger than Bob, but he was always around the Wailers camp. And that was just the way it was done, that a lot of people contributed. And he says that he took part in building Tough Gong Studio, directing the building of the studio. So I know that Delroy was an integral, and there comes a word, integral part of the Wailers. And Delroy is a man who sat me down and taught me many things on this trod towards these results that we're giving to you. So, in the name of integrity, I will just say that I believe it was him, because that's his way of talking. If you listen to it, bribing with a gun, spare parts, and money, trying to belittle our integrity, you know. And it could have been Bob, it could have been somebody else, but for my belief, I believe that is those are words that Delroy contributed without being credited. And I say that because that we are working with a strategy with integrity, to make sure that whoever contributes in any form, in any manner, must get paid. And we want to make sure that the publishing goes to the poorest of our people, and that's King of Africa Publishing. And we want to involve all good souls to meet us on this work, and that's why it's a demo album, because it can be redone according to the best ability of the people involved, and then we can all enjoy brand new music and brand new markets and brand new strategies, brand new shoes, brand new cars, brand new houses, and a brand new planet and a brand new earth, because Jah says so. See? Love, Rastafari. So welcome. All right. I'm just gonna say one more thing before I continue. We open up with Jamaica, of course, paying tribute to Jamaica. I'm gonna say more about that. And we have Mojiba. That's our landing place in Jamaica, our crossroads, and our meeting point. And you could say the executive producer, director of Cool Mom Records in Jamaica. The final word on what's going to happen in Jamaica, that is Mojiba, and she's the daughter of the great Count Ozzy, and Count Ozzy played the Nyabingi drums for His Imperial Majesty when His Majesty came to Jamaica, and he said to all of I and I Rastafari that we must organize, we must centralize, you know, and this is what did he say? Organize and centralize. Is that the words? How come I forget it? Well, I'm sorry I forgot those words, but that's why we work iron sharpen iron, so you can fill in the words there, you know. And as the daughter, and this is Cool Mom Records, as the daughter of Count Ozzy, and this is Cool Mom Records, which is to empower women. We know that Mojiba is the one to carry this and to spread it. We've been watching her work for a good 9 years or so, and mightily impressed, always inspired by what she's doing, and so many good graphics. And we try to use those graphics a lot on the website. And so we introduce you now into the hands. We leave you in the hands of Mojiba to take this album to where it's supposed to go. Thank you, Jamaica, for being Jamaica. And thank you, all reggae brethren and sistren, for making this thing a reality on this planet. God knows it is so much needed. Irie Rastafari.